We are going to look at just safety when we use Wi-Fi in public places. They can be very convenient and it saves our data, but very few people actually stop to think about how safe those public networks really, really are. Now, going to help us unpack this, it is John Tshinseki, president of the Zambian Cybersecurity Initiative Foundation. However, I'm going to take a break. I'll speak to him after this.
Clear your diaries for the 25th of March, 2026. Channel Africa, in partnership with Wits Business School, invites you to a climate change conversation that goes beyond talk. 3 powerful panel discussions, 1 stage, big questions, bold answers. If you care about the future and value honest, intelligent discussions, this is your seat at the table. Join us on March 25 for Africa Matters. Climate change, financing Africa's recovery, only on Channel Africa. Her name is Puleng Molebatsi, and she's on Tech Africa.
John, good morning.
Good morning, Puleng, and good morning to all listeners and everyone following us everywhere on the channels available.
How are you feeling? How is Sunday so far in Zambia?
Sunday, today it looks a little bit sunny, but it's a bit of clouds here and there, and I'm not going to sound like a meteorologist. Thunderstorms and yeah, but it's warm. It's fairly warm. At least it's been raining a little bit. I think lately in Lusaka, Zambia, and even think yesterday there was a bit of rain here and there. But today it looks like it's going to be dry. Yeah.
Okay, John, when we connect to free Wi-Fi at places like, malls, coffee shops, and just public spaces, what are the main risks that we actually could find ourselves in that we should also know about?
Yes, that's a very important discussion. I think I remember talking about this issue when our own government launched free Wi-Fi in 2 key spots. That's the intercity bus terminal and another very busy market in a town called Kitwe. And we had debates around security and the prerequisites that they had to put together before having to launch this particular Wi-Fi for the public consumption. Public Wi-Fi in its entirety is actually a serious trap, because in most cases don't even realize who has connected to the public Wi-Fi and with what intentions they have joined the public Wi-Fi. You might want to finally to quite use free internet while you are transiting through countries, at the airports, in the coffee shops and the like. But one thing is that when you get in the public Wi-Fi, do you realize that you already expose your IP address, which is the identifier for your device on the internet, to the host of this particular Wi-Fi? And you know that nowadays, today, there are tools that I can install on my phone, on my laptop, and launch a scan for all the IPs that I'm connected to, and I'll have all the IP addresses, and even further go to try and page these particular IP addresses to check which ones are open, which ones are weak, and which ones I can easily manipulate and even steal data. And this is something that I think we don't actually even get, because we don't tell the people what happens when they click their phone and connect to a free Wi-Fi. We don't know that within that particular network, there are quite a number of bad actors. And today, we're living in a data era where they say data is the new gold, the new oil. And simply having data from your device could make somebody very rich, because they'll simply get the data and go and trade it off for huge amounts of dollars and millions to those companies that thrive on numbers. Today, we have AI that feeds on data for it to be able to operate. And this data, who is getting the data? Where is it coming from? Sometimes we find data that we did not actually train AI on. We find it on AI models. It comes from platforms such as free Wi-Fi environments that we connect to without awareness on basic security, protocols to observe before we get to connect.
And you speak about the IP, exposing your IP address. So just like that, that means then whatever that I have stored in my emails, that kind of information is vulnerable.
So when, for instance, I'll give you an example. When I used to employ somewhere where I used to work some years back, about 12 years ago, I was head of ICT for a microfinance institution. And I can tell you that I knew how much each and every staff member in that company was getting paid, including the CEO of the company. And not that they availed me the information, but because I managed to manipulate, I found a lot of loopholes in all the computers in my network through the IP address, because all the IPs are running through the laptop. And similarly, someone like myself with bad intentions could easily find themselves in your device. An IP address would lead me directly into your device, and I will be moving files in your computer, in your emails, and everything like that, and start moving files and data from your computer to my intended repository. And without you realizing, you won't actually see anything happening on your end. You realize maybe data has gone, maybe something that you didn't put out intentionally finds itself out there. Why? Because of we don't understand the many permissions that devices, when we're installing applications we download from the internet, they demand a lot of permissions, access to this, access to that, and that access to this and that. You see that in most cases when you download an application, it wants access to your email, to your contacts, to everything on your device, on your C drive, and that public internet that connects to, that then exposes your address, could actually be used by a bad actor to play around those permissions and those permissions and get information and data from your device and move information to where they intend to take that information to. So in that case, we need to realize and understand the importance of the danger story of public internet, hotspots. And we also need to understand some security-based practices that we have to deploy to be safe when we are using public Wi-Fi, because it looks like we can't avoid it because it's free. After all, it's in a coffee shop. You're having coffee. You don't want to use your bundle. It's costly. Internet is costly these days. And we also understand the intentions behind the deployment of free Wi-Fi, because we go to places where we just try and scan and we find a lot of open, hotspots. We get into there. We get a lot of times into traps. There are actually also devices that specifically manufactured and designed to masquerade as public Wi-Fi routers. Okay? Yes, so could be deployed in your location. You will think you're actually connected to the Wi-Fi that you are seeing on your device, and yet you are connected to as you've been directed to a dangerous spot which has been created, like a honeypot by the bad actors. Those devices, there are plenty. I've had a number of them myself, and I've tested them. Gone to places where there is free Wi-Fi named 1234, and we also launched that, and it actually picks the exact SSID and redeploys itself and kicks all of you out of that illegitimate Wi-Fi you've connected to, and mops you into its own trap. You won't have connectivity to the internet. You'll be thinking there's just maybe a problem with connectivity, and yet you're actually trapped into a device being controlled by a bad actor who could then easily get your data free of charge without you realizing your data is going. And we've seen some information that has to be exposed on the internet, which might.
John? I can't hear John. John, can you hear me? Oh, okay. There's a bit of a lag on John's side. We were talking about free Wi-Fi, and one of the things that he was elaborating on was you could think you are on a legitimate Wi-Fi. Kanti, no, that is just a clone of the actual Wi-Fi. So, which is quite popular, especially when you're in public spaces. You'll see, let's say you're at Cresta Mall, it's Cresta 1, Cresta 2, Cresta, and they're all free. So, like, what's what? How do we maneuver through that? That's why we're having that conversation with John Tshinseki, who is president of the Zambian Cybersecurity Initiative Foundation. John?
Sure. Yeah, so what I was saying is that, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So what I was saying is that, these devices that are used to create honeypots, masquerades of legitimate Wi-Fi hotspots are out there. There are plenty of them. Some of them are found in the hands of even young boys that are maybe studying cybersecurity, maybe beginners in that field, and just want to use them to test and try. And the ones they land on your devices. Your devices are trapped into this network they create. They could easily be tempted to start moving data. In a nutshell, public Wi-Fi has never been safe, will never be safe, and is not safe. It is always advisable to put best practices. Nowadays, we have virtual private network applications, VPNs that we call VPNs that are readily available. Even VPNs as well, we don't need to go for free ones because free VPNs also come with, problems. There's nothing for free in this world. There's always, some kind of bait attached to anything that seems to be freely, given to the public. You might not know the application that you're using as a VPN application is going to start demanding access to a lot of places, devices, location and everything in your device, specifically for the purposes of getting access to your data. You send an email, the email you send, somebody has access to it because you downloaded their VPN. VPNs, there are plenty. They are quite a little bit costly, about $40 or so. Get a VPN in the public Wi-Fi space, activate, let the VPN start running, and then you can connect to public Wi-Fi. Then you will be safe because your IP address will be masked and you'll be logging in from a different location. That won't be easy to trace you. So those are, and also make sure that you have antivirus software on your devices, which also gives an extra layer of security for you when you're connected to the internet, hotspots out there. At least that is able to show you where we are being tracked. Some of the antivirus software, like the one I have myself, is able to block, any potential traces that are coming from applications. We actually get a lot of applications trying to track us. When you click on this application, click on LinkedIn, for instance, there is somebody somewhere who, there's something maybe LinkedIn wants to access on your device. I have a virus that I use that blocks all those attempts to access my device because we have anti-tracker. Anti-trackers, they are good. When you have an anti-tracker on your device, you are safer than just having an antivirus. Antivirus is one, but anti-tracker is extra to antivirus. It gives you some extra security and extra confidence to be able to browse the internet with knowing that at least nobody is tracing and tracking what you're doing. Because when I try and load my tracking history for the day, sometimes I find hundreds of them because everywhere I click, there is some kind of cookies that are planning to start tracking my internet, journey, what I browse and all that, and create some kind of a profile that they want to use to start advertising stuff to me, which I didn't subscribe to, and all that. All that is because of the IP addresses and the things that we do. So, in a nutshell, antivirus, anti-tracker, and anti-tracking, software, and also virtual private network software solutions are security applications and measures that each and every one of us is supposed to think of having in this digital economy where AI is growing at a supersonic speed and is riding on the data that it is picking and fishing from unsuspecting devices that are connected to hotspots like free Wi-Fi environments and many other places.
So you spoke about, I just want now to narrow down an antivirus. How do I know that I've got a good one, like or a right one? I mean, also there were these terms that we come across and we don't really invest in getting to know what it is, like cookies. And I mean, but now when you open every site, you do want to accept all the cookies, it's just like, and I think sometimes we're busy. You're just like, hi, all man. So you can move on to the next, like you just want to get to it. But the question I actually want to know about is, how do I choose a good antivirus for my phone? Like, what am I looking for?
Okay, antivirus software solutions, there are thousands of them by different vendors, and each vendor is going to tell you how good theirs is compared to the other vendors' antivirus software. And, sometimes when we scan highly infected devices like computers, desktops, laptops, we want to run sometimes more than 10 antivirus software because for the specific, is designed for.
John?
And even need some. Can you hear me?
You are stalling a little bit. Your signal is not very good.
Can you hear me?
Yes. You sounding better now?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Good, great. So what I was saying is, they are competition, they are competitors. But I have been working with a very good antivirus that comes as a full pack. I've been using AVG for a while. It's been a very odd, for us odd timers in ICT. AVG has been around for a long time, and it came just as a.
John, I'm gonna unfortunately. I'm going to unfortunately have to end our conversation here as your signal is consistently cutting us off. I don't know if you can hear me.
I can get you loud and clear.
Oh, but then not very good on my side. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to cut our conversation short there with John because of signal issues. But I think he mentioned something along the lines of AVG that he's trying out. So for someone that has never tried an antivirus, maybe that's the first place to look as you're looking for the right and relevant one for your device. It's 11:37 Central African Time. We'll be sitting with our co-host in a matter of minutes.
Africa at Play with Neto and ETO Chairmane.
Lelintle, talk to us about your relationship with your father, Coach Pitso. What is this one thing that he said to you that is still stuck at the top of your head?
Coach Pitso and our mom, Moira Kakale, have always told us that whatever we do in life, we must do it to the best of our abilities and represent our family well. But the big thing is do what you love and do it with all the passion that you have. And I think we see it in both their work. I mean, my mom has done a really good job with placing Coach Pitso in different clubs around the world, and she's negotiated contracts and showing that a woman, you can also do work that is seen, and you can also get respect from men in a male-dominated space. And I think my dad has also shown that, you must never underestimate a Black African man.
Lelintle Mosimane, a South African communications and digital media professional. Lelintle is also a daughter to a great mentor when it comes to the game of football, Coach Jingles Mosimane.
Live every Saturday and Sunday from 2 to 5 p.m. 60 years of Channel Africa. Your trusted voice. Your African perspective. Into the future. For 60 years, Channel Africa has connected the continent. Celebrate the journey. Celebrate the African perspective.
In time, we also